am young Homer, here to lead you on another journey into the rise and fall of Zeus. Tonight, we continue Series 5, Fathers and Sons. Zeus's relationships with his children, with episode 38, Ares, the son who thrived on war. In this tale, we turn to Ares, the god of war, born of Zeus and Hera. Fiery and fierce, Ares moves through the fields of battle as one born to conflict, embodying the relentless storm of war. He is Zeus's son, but not one whose heart mirrors his father's. Instead, his soul is bound to the clash of arms and the call of victory and defeat alike. This is a tale of strength, struggle, and the deep, complex bond between father and son. As we prepare to enter this world of gods and warriors, let yourself sink fully into your bed, as though resting within the quiet shade of ancient hills, safe beneath the open sky. Close your eyes if you wish, and breathe deeply, filling your lungs with calm, as though drawing in the peace of an endless field under starlight. Now exhale, letting go of the day's weight, your thoughts softening as shadows lengthen in the gentle dusk. This is your time to rest, to let go, and to journey in peace. Focus now on the steady rhythm of your breath, each inhale and exhale a quiet echo of the world's turning, ancient and enduring. Breathe in deeply once more, letting calmness fill you like a deep well, and hold it softly. Then, as you exhale, feel yourself settle further into stillness, anchored and serene, as though standing on timeless ground. With each breath, we invite peace and relaxation to every part of your body. Begin with your forehead, letting it soften like the earth after a long rain. Allow your jaw to ease, resting quietly like a river smoothing its stones. Now, turn your awareness to your shoulders. Inhale deeply, then let them fall as leaves drift from quiet branches. Let your arms and hands grow heavy, resting by your sides as though in deep repose. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest and belly, and with each exhale, release any remaining tension, feeling yourself grow lighter as clouds part before the dawn. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, allowing them to sink deeper, secure as stones lying in a hidden glen. And lastly, bring your awareness to your calves, feet, and toes, letting them ease completely, grounded and calm. Now, imagine yourself upon a vast open plain where battles were once fought and stories of valor told. The sky above is overcast, heavy with distant storms, and in the midst of the field stands Ares, son of Zeus, his armor gleaming in the faint light. He strides forward with the spirit of a warrior born to conflict, eyes blazing as he surveys the world, his path drawn to the clash and roar of war. From Olympus, Zeus watches his son, proud yet pensive, seeing in Ares a reflection of strength, but also the fierce independence that sets them apart. With each breath, feel yourself surrounded by the quiet strength of this ancient scene, as though you, too, stand upon a timeless battlefield, grounded and still. Inhale deeply, letting the power of the landscape fill you, and exhale, feeling calm, steady, and as resolute as stone. Now, with body at rest and mind open, let the tale carry you to distant plains and hidden realms, to the places where gods walk and the stories of fathers and sons endure beyond the ages. Take one last deep breath in and let it out softly. Now, let us begin. Ares, the god of war, was born into Olympus with a fire that would define his very existence. From an early age, his nature set him apart from his divine siblings, where they sought wisdom, beauty, and justice. Ares was drawn to the thrill of battle, the raw, unfiltered power that came with combat. He was a force of pure aggression and desire, embodying the primal side of war that made even gods cautious. Unlike Athena, who saw war as a means to protect and maintain order, Ares reveled in the chaos of battle. He cared not for strategy or purpose, only for the rush of bloodlust, the thrill of victory, and the satisfaction of overpowering his enemies. His fiery temper and unrelenting drive made him a feared presence among both mortals and gods, his name spoken with both reverence and fear across the realms. From the start, Zeus recognized Ares' potential as a force of destruction, one who could inspire courage but also instill terror. Yet, as Ares grew, so too did the tension between him and his father. For while Zeus valued strength, he knew that unchecked aggression could lead to ruin. Ares' love of battle often brought him to Earth, where he sought out conflicts to fuel his hunger for combat. He would appear on battlefields, relishing the thrill of chaos and bloodshed, his presence igniting fear and fury in the hearts of soldiers. To him, war was not just a necessity, it was an art, a primal force that drove humanity to their limits. He saw himself as both master and muse, inspiring mortals to embrace their darkest desires, to fight with abandon. Yet Ares' nature was often in direct opposition to the values Zeus hoped to instill in his children. Where Zeus sought balance and order, Ares represented volatility and the unrestrained power of violence. His disregard for the larger consequences of war put him at odds with Zeus, who saw the need for purpose in every battle, a reason that went beyond mere destruction. Despite their differences, Ares did not fear Zeus's disapproval. In his mind, the strength he wielded was enough to command respect. To Ares, power was not just an attribute, it was the ultimate truth, the only language he respected. This belief set him on a path of both glory and isolation, admired by those who valued strength, but distanced from those who sought harmony. Perhaps no relationship better encapsulated the essence of Ares than his rivalry with Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare. While both gods shared a connection to war, their approaches could not have been more different. Athena viewed combat as a tool for justice and balance, a means to protect and preserve. To her, war was a last resort, a carefully considered act only used to achieve a greater purpose. Ares, on the other hand, scorned Athena's restraint, seeing her caution as weakness. He dismissed her calculated methods, preferring instead the raw force and immediate satisfaction of direct conflict. Their disagreements became legendary among the gods, a contrast between the discipline of Athena's mind and the raw ferocity of Ares's spirit. Zeus, observing the rivalry between his children, understood that they represented two sides of the same coin. Athena's wisdom balanced Ares's power, and together they embodied the complexity of war. But while Zeus valued the strength Ares brought to Olympus, he often found himself disappointed in his son's reckless disregard for reason and diplomacy. Ares's love for chaos, his drive to conquer without purpose, was a source of tension that Zeus could not ignore. Zeus's disapproval weighed heavily on Ares, though he would never admit it. Ares desired his father's respect, yet he was unwilling to change his nature to gain it. He believed that his role as the god of war was essential to Olympus, that his strength and aggression were what made the gods feared and respected among mortals. Yet Zeus saw in Ares a need for restraint and purpose, values that Ares dismissed as hindrances to his true calling. In battles where Ares fought for Olympus, his approach often caused as much harm as good. He led with brute force, charging ahead without considering the broader consequences. His single-minded pursuit of victory alienated allies and unsettled mortals, leaving behind a trail of devastation that tainted the very honor he sought to bring to his name. Zeus often counseled Ares on the importance of balance, urging him to consider the larger impact of his actions. But Ares remained steadfast, viewing his father's advice as an attempt to weaken him. The pride and ambition that fueled Ares also blinded him to his father's wisdom, driving a wedge between them that would never fully close. To mortals, Ares was a god of fear and fury. Where Athena inspired strategies and noble ideals in soldiers, Ares represented the raw and violent side of war. Armies called upon him not for guidance, but for the strength to overpower their enemies, for the courage to fight without regard for consequences. In every clash of swords, every desperate cry on the battlefield, Ares's influence was felt as a presence both empowering and terrifying. In the stories told by mortals, Ares's name became synonymous with bloodshed and chaos, his worship often marked by sacrifices made to satisfy his thirst for battle. Yet, even among his followers, there was an understanding that Ares was unpredictable, a god who could grant victory, but who cared little for the lives spent achieving it. To call upon Ares was to embrace the full brutality of war, to surrender to its darkest impulses. In this way, Ares's influence shaped entire kingdoms, sowing seeds of conquest and ruin. Where Athena's wisdom fostered unity and prosperity, Ares's power left scars on the earth, a reminder of the consequences that came with unchecked ambition and pride. Ares's life was not without passion beyond the battlefield. Among the gods, he found a kindred spirit in Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. Their connection was born of contrast. Where Ares embodied the violence of war, Aphrodite symbolized the allure of love. Yet they were drawn together, their bond a fiery union of desire and impulse. Their affair became well known among the gods, a relationship both passionate and tumultuous. Ares and Aphrodite understood each other in a way that few others did. Both were ruled by powerful desires, both willing to embrace the extremes of emotion. Aphrodite's affection tempered Ares's fury, offering him a rare sense of peace, if only for brief moments. In her presence, he found a solace that was absent from the battlefield, a reminder of the joy that could exist beyond war. However, even in love, Ares's nature remained unchanged. He was possessive, his devotion intense yet laced with the same ferocity he brought to battle. The gods often watched their affair with a mix of fascination and judgment, aware that their connection was both a source of strength and potential discord. For Ares, Aphrodite was a rare spark of light in his otherwise brutal existence, a reminder of the beauty that, while fleeting, gave his life purpose beyond combat. Despite the challenges he posed, Ares remained a vital part of Olympus, his presence a reminder of the strength and fury that defined the god's power. His name endured through generations, his legend passed down in stories of war and conquest. Mortals revered him as much as they feared him, understanding that Ares represented the inescapable force of conflict within the human soul. He was the rage that fueled soldiers, the fire that drove warriors to stand their ground, even when faced with certain death. Though Zeus never fully approved of his son's methods, he could not deny the need for Ares's presence. In a world where power determined survival, Ares embodied the fearsome strength that protected Olympus from its enemies. While Athena's wisdom brought guidance, Ares's power brought dominance, a strength that was necessary if often destructive. For Ares, his legacy was not defined by approval or acceptance, but by his own nature, his own understanding of what it meant to be powerful. He remained unyielding, an embodiment of war's darkest desires, a force that could not be tamed or softened. Through him, mortals and gods alike were reminded that power could inspire both glory and ruin, that strength without purpose could lead as easily to victory as to destruction. In Olympus, the gods often debated Ares' role among them, recognizing both the benefits and the challenges he brought. Athena, who remained his most vocal critic, saw in Ares a reminder of what could happen when war was waged without purpose. Strength without wisdom, she remarked, is a sword with no direction, dangerous to all it touches. Hestia, goddess of the hearth, saw Ares' influence as a reminder of the balance needed to preserve harmony. War has its place, she observed, but it must serve a greater good, or else it destroys all we seek to protect. Zeus, despite his frustrations with Ares, understood that his son represented a side of war that could not be ignored. We cannot deny our nature, he said thoughtfully, for even in the chaos Ares brings, there is a reminder of the power that defines us all. It is up to us to channel that strength, to ensure it serves rather than consumes. The gods knew that Ares' presence was both a blessing and a curse, a force that, while dangerous, also contributed to the strength and endurance of Olympus. He remained an enduring part of their realm, a reminder of the complexity that lay within the heart of every god. Ares' legacy continued across the ages, shaping the lives of warriors, kings, and conquerors who called upon him for strength. Mortals saw in him both a savior and a destroyer, understanding that his favor came with a price. In their devotion, they acknowledged the fearsome truth of war, that victory was often born from sacrifice, that power could be both a gift and a burden. For Ares, his place among the gods was eternal, an unyielding force of conflict and strength. His name would be remembered not for the wisdom he imparted, but for the courage he inspired, the battles he fought, and the lives he changed. He was the embodiment of war's fury, a god whose legacy would endure as long as mortals held weapons in their hands and fire in their hearts. But Ares was not Zeus's only warrior child. Join us in the next episode as we explore the story of Apollo and Artemis, the divine twins whose contrasting talents and powerful bond shaped the realms of light, prophecy, and the hunt. Discover how these two children of Zeus forged their own paths, bringing balance and beauty to the cosmos. Until we meet again, may your path be filled with peace, strength, and a touch of magic. I'm young Homer, and I look forward to our next story together.